Hey everyone, this is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. Thank you for being with me here tonight. Tonight I have another special reading for you. Tonight we are going to, first of all, get situated as I find a comfortable spot here. And I hope everyone's doing well. I know we've got a lot going on right now in the world, and people are kind of panicked and in need of guidance. I definitely think people are in need of guidance and friends and reassurance, and it's hard to do when we're being encouraged to socially isolate. So I'm really happy to be with you here tonight and work with you on this topic. So the topic for the evening is Ascended Masters. What Ascended Master is with you currently right now and why? And we're going to get into some really interesting issues with this reading. So I hope you're ready because it's going to be fun. So for those of you on some of, I don't know, I've pulled 4 piles here. I don't know what is under each pile. This is pile 1, which is the fire and ice crystal. Pile 2 is the amber. Pile 3 is serpentine stone, and pile 4 is the emerald. So I'll link to the comments, or not to the comments, to the description in the video as to when each pile starts. And of course, you can always pick more than one pile, and particularly if a pile that you first pick doesn't resonate with you. And again, these are 4 general readings, but I love doing the pick of cards because you can really choose based on your own intuition. And I find when I look at pick a card readings, I choose the one that my eye is immediately drawn to, right? So use your intuition when you're picking the pile, and let's all take a breath together and let's find out what Ascended Master is with you and why. So for now, I'm going to move the other piles out of sight, and we will start with pile number 1. Okay. If you chose pile number 1, you chose this beautiful fire and ice crystal. The camera doesn't even do it justice with how beautiful it is, but it is gorgeous. And this stone actually resonates with the lost land of Lemuria. And so for those of you that are starseeds, and we're going to get into that here in this reading for sure, but who have a special connection to Lemuria, maybe this is for you. So we will see, won't we? All right. So what Ascended Master is with you right now and why? Sanat Kumara. So of course, with the Lemurians and the light activation and with this card. So the card says, Sanat Kumara, light activation, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So if you've been doubting yourself at all, pile number 1, and you've been thinking, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, don't doubt yourself anymore. Your internal guidance is right on about whatever is in your life right now. Also, I just want to, Sanat Kumara was Rishi in Hindu culture in the East and was highly revered. And he's an ascended master. He incarnated supposedly 18 million years ago. So this is like a very, very old soul in the terms of our universe. Anyway, Sanat Kumara is said to be the one who is leading the light workers. And supposedly there's 140,000 light workers on Earth who are going to help humanity move to the next level and ascend. And so if you see yourself as an energy worker, a light worker, a healer, a practitioner in the healing arts, and you are receiving a light activation and you're becoming aware of exactly who you are and what you have to do in this world right now. So for those, that's pretty deep, pile number 1. um, let's continue with your reading and see why Sanakumara is with you right now and what this light activation is about for you. Okay, so right now I am using these cool, awesome cards that I bought at the Northwest Tarot Symposium a week ago called the Starseed Oracle. And my goal here for this reading for you guys was to pull either a temple or a stargate for you. And you guys have card 71, Temple of Perfected Essence, Divinity, Honor, Responsibility, and Humility. And I absolutely love that for Sanakumara, because this is an ascended master who has perfected himself and his divinity. And I'm using masculine. I do have a reading on the goddesses, and of course the feminine is just as powerful. And this person's essence actually seems sort of androgynous. So, I'm just saying he right now, but when we come to the soul level, it's not so much about gender anymore. So anyway, this is perfect. I feel this Temple of Perfected Essence is perfect with Sanakumara, because there is a lot of responsibility and humility needed for light workers, and you're not going to go on this path unless you have some humility and some responsibility for what you're doing. And I love the fact that this card has like the whites and the purples in it, and then this card also has the white and the purple in it. Of course, with honor, purple is the color of spirituality and honor and responsibility and humility. So you're really being asked to step into that right now, pile number one. Let's see why that is for you. Okay, so I think pile number one, you've had some situations recently that have left you feeling like rather hopeless and despondent, and that you've had to be very defensive about your position. Things have not been easy recently, pile number one, and I think that's really why you seek the light. You seek the light in darkness. Yeah. Sorrow, right? So Sanakumara is here to help you through any of these experiences, any of these sour experiences. With the Ten of Swords and sorrow here, I definitely feel like you've been through some sour experiences lately that have probably left a bad taste in your mouth, and you've really had to tend to your defensive line in order to come through that. And so I just want to I feel called to read this card 71 here. So I'm going to read this to you guys with the Temple of Perfected Essence. It says, it has to do with Virgo and Taurus, Venus and Saturn. Its crystals are diamond and pearl. The Temple of Perfected Essence seals more light into the body's pathways and circuitries, and reinforcing the highest spiritual purpose and instilling trust to attain one's ambitions in a humble way. It encourages peaceful fulfillment through presence, feminine honor, and divine responsibility as it relates to using and perfecting one's gifts, assisting one in maintaining spiritual awareness and using that as a lens through which to see the entirety of one's life, recognizing the interconnected web in which all of us are needed and necessary. Honor your divinity by continuing to use and perfect, and I almost said protect, your spiritual gifts, taking responsibility for your own evolution. So taking responsibility for your own evolution, pile number one. And the feminine energy here too, with the Temple of Perfected Essence, and how I mentioned that this card felt kind of androgynous to me in a way, actually is also pretty right on point here. I feel like, you've been tending to your garden. You've been tending to the things in your life, but you've gotten tired. I feel like you've gotten weary of some of the things in this world, pile number one. And so Sanakumara is here to bring some light to that for you and let you feel the perfection of the divine, right? Because this earth is never going to be perfect, and we can't be perfect on this earth, and that's just not the journey. But there are places where things come together perfectly, and so you're being transported to this temple of perfected essence so that you can feel that, because I feel that you very much long for that. The golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Oh, look at that. It's such a beautiful card. Yeah, I really feel like, again, like I said earlier, pile number one, that you've been through some stuff, and it might have started earlier on in your life too, not just recently, but very early on in your life. And I feel like you guys are being, you're up leveling right now. You're walking through the door, you're walking through a portal. It's like for light workers, our souls are being gathered and put upon a path, right? And you can see that there are like multiple light workers here. And with the 10 of Swords and sorrow here, and even this 9 of Wands, I feel like this could have been a lonely journey for you too, pile number one. And so with the multiple people in this card and seeing the golden children, like you are part of a group of people. You're part of that 144,000. You are part of that ancestral line. You and many others on this planet are too. And so you just have to keep walking through that portal, even though, things get hard, things get tough, things are not perfect by any means in the earth realm. You just keep walking towards the light. And then this says the secret of Camelot, the authority of spirit, right? So at the end of the day, spirit trumps everything else. The earth experience, we are incredibly honored to be on the earth right now and to be here and to be warriors in this together. But never underestimate the authority of spirit. When I think of spirit here too, I think of like the great spirit, like, the God of everything, the creator, and the creator within ourselves too. So the authority of spirit, and she's in this picture, she's holding a lit up sword, and he's also holding a lit up rod as well. And here, this 9 of Wands is holding his stick that's lighting everything up as well. So you are being lit up, and this sorrow that you've been feeling and this pain that you've been feeling, this emotional and actually mental anguish that you've been feeling is going to dissipate. And at the end of the day, you're going to be reunited in perfected essence with spirit. And that's why Sanat Kumara is with you on your journey. So thank you, pile number one. Those were your messages. And let us move on to pile number two. Okay, so pile number two, what Ascended Master is here for you right now and why? Okay, if you picked the amber, this is your pile. What's really interesting is I originally wanted to call this what cosmic boyfriend is here for you. Or if you have a cosmic boyfriend, who is that person? And is one of his lineage, your cosmic boyfriend? So it's a fun, interesting topic, but I didn't want to demean the Ascended Masters by saying that, but we'll see what you got, pile number two. So, oh, Master Jesus, forgiveness. So it says, you are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. Okay, so pile number two, if you've had issues with power, authority, the masculine, with your own father in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, this is showing that is going to subside for you, and it's softening. And I think it's so interesting. I mean, I always thought Jesus was very good looking and I liked him a lot. But I really also associated with Mary Magdalene a lot when I was younger, and maybe you do too as well, pile number 2. So I do think that, we're not going to be in a romantic relationship with an ascended master, likely not, but maybe with one of his lineage. So I think it could actually happen. But let's see why Master Jesus is here for you. Okay, so you have the Temple of Centering. And when I look at this, it almost looks like, cosmic brooms or something, but they're also lights. And it says solitude, seclusion, grounding, and belonging. So the feeling I'm getting about this is, in order to have this healing that you so desire right now, that your soul is calling for, is to have solitude, to have seclusion, to ground yourself, and to know that you belong, right? And it's very hard to know that you belong when you're in a pattern of solitude and reclusion, seclusion. It doesn't make you feel like, belonging might not be at its all-time high. But let's read this card, number 64, and see what it says. This temple welcomes spiritual centering through solitude and seclusion, inviting one to take some time to retreat from active life for solace, personal or group focus, and renew without demands or distractions. It carries the silence of the hermit, as well as the grounded belonging associated with compatible community. So what I'm really getting here for you, pal number 2, is when you do go out and do something social, when you do something, please make it be with somebody who really gets you. Friends that really get you, where you can be your true self, where you don't have to hide who you are, where you can be very authentic and real with what you're doing. So it's not quantity, it's quality, right? So you're getting very centered right now, pal number 2, and you're getting very clear, and you're using this time of solitude to your advantage. Okay, yeah, and you've went through some kind of loss recently as well, pal number 2. You've had some kind of a loss, and it could have been a loss of a relationship. The relationship could have expired. When I say expired, I mean at one point it was a sanctuary, it was a safe place for you to land. And more recently, it's been harder to see that in this relationship. I definitely feel like you've moved away from something or someone, pile number 2. Yeah, you really have. You've got the Rebel card here. So you've gone off. Master Jesus is trying to help you with going off on your own in solitude, and is opening up this temple of centering for you so that you can get grounded and clear about what you want to do in that solitude, right? Like, what do you want to do? How do you want to use your time? What do you want to put your energy to, right? Maybe in the past you put it a lot towards somebody else, and now you're just breaking free of those chains. You're not having it. You're not you're not falling back into these patterns. This temple of centering is helping you get grounded about that. Called. All right, pal number 2, I just got chills when I saw that. You've been called. You're in training. Your soul gifts in training. It's time to step it up. And that's why you're also being invited into solitude. And that's why certain relationships have had to be let go of, and it might have created sadness for you. But this solitude and seclusion is part of the silence so that you can hear the call and the training and accept your gifts, right? The path of the gods, decisions, meetings, and future plans. So I really get the sense that when you're in solitude and seclusion, when you're in meditation, when you're really focused on your own path and where you want to go, it's like you're going to be able to make decisions and you're going to have new ideas come to you, and you really need that space away. And because it's path of the gods, I also feel like some people might not understand what you're doing right now, and they might think that you're just not wanting to be around and not wanting to hang out. And they might not be fully understanding of what's happening to you right now. That you're literally, and I see this woman is by herself walking through this massive doorway into the cosmos, right? And so definitely hermit energy there. And also, rebelling from what society normal structure is, and having ideas that other people don't have, talking about things that other people don't talk about. Maybe with the father energy here in the past, you were just following somebody else's rules, and Master Jesus is here to absolve you of that and say, look, you don't have to do that. I'm going to take you, I'm going to push the situations out of your life that are creating this sadness and loss. I'm going to upgrade you. I'm going to take you to this temple of centering. And when I see the path of the gods, it's like, sometimes when we're called to do certain spiritual work in life, we can't always, we will have companions on the journey. We will have other people that influence us and are around us, but you can't always expect that the journey is going to be just a completely extroverted journey with everyone else around you. I mean, I'm an extrovert. I love being with my friends, etc. But some things you have to take within yourself. And so some journeys you have to take within yourself. And that's what you're really being called to do right now, pile number 2. So those are your messages. I'm feeling a little dizzy after your reading. I get where you're coming from. I get the need to be grounded as well. So all right, with that, let's move on to pile number 3. Okay, so pile number 3, you chose the Serpentine. This is Pacific Northwest Serpentine. It's pretty cool. Okay, and our question tonight is, what Ascended Master is with you and why? Odin, oh my. So Odin, it says psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. Okay. So Odin is showing up here looking very serious. And I just got the message. It is what it is. So there might be something that you've seen recently and it's a truth, right? I just saw see truth for what it is. It is what it is. So you might be seeing something that hasn't left you with the greatest of opinion of someone, but you've seen the truth. You have the truth now, and I really see these birds in the background too as messengers of truth. And it's almost like the birds in the background, and then I see these ancient symbols right here. The birds in the background are like bringing information in, and it's waking you up. And your psychic gifts, if you felt like they were dulled or off, or like you were in a trance for a while, that is not happening anymore. You are getting very clear in your third eye, and you're receiving quite a few messages. So Odin is here with you right now. And whenever I think of Odin, I always think of like the witches too, and the Vikings, etc. And so, Odin is not messing around. Looking strong and tough. Ooh, I love Odin with the Syrian gate. So this is the Syrian Stargate, and for every pile I pulled either a temple or a Stargate, as well as an Ascended Master. So Odin is working with you right now in the Syrian Stargate, and the Syrian Stargate has to do with transcendence, playfulness, and serenity. Right? So the Syrians, I always think of the Syrians as being a little bit more serious, and it's funny because they have playfulness right here. But I know some Syrian type people in my life, and They do have a seriousness to them, but also they can be silly at the same time too. They're very strong people. The Syrians are very, very strong people. So let me read you guys this card 54 for the Syrians. It says, dwelling in the sixth dimension around the white dwarf star called Sirius B in the Canis Major constellation, the Syrians are peaceful beings of great light and transcendence who are treasure prayerfulness. Oh, that's prayerfulness, not playfulness. I was going to say, the Syrians are not very playful. They're more serious. Prayerfulness and sacred communion above all else, reminding one to be unwaveringly faithful and fulfilling of one's highest spiritual evolution through embodying the traits of reverence and soul integrity. Prayerful devotion will initiate experiences of spiritual transcendence that will allow for more beautiful states of being that bring serenity and greater meaning into your life. And when I look at this card, I am totally filled with a sense of peace and structure too. Like, I'm filled with a sense of like, there is structure and there is safety. And that it's just damn interesting too with the transcendence. But yeah, Odin is serious, and so is the Syrian Stargate. So that was a prayerfulness, not playfulness. I'm thinking to myself, that's interesting. I do have Syrian friends that can be that way, but they're more serious than playful, I would say. Three of Wands. Seven of Pentacles, the Creator, karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth and conflict, Oracle, sacred living, spirit speaking, intervention. Okay, so yeah, I think Odin intervened in a karmic relationship, and you're seeing the truth about that, and that's why I'm feeling the seriousness of the vibe. I feel like things have been, moving us slower than you would like, pile number 3. It's like you really want to be in a creative space and you really want to be doing what you love, but things haven't been happening quite fast enough. It's like, let's go. Like, you're beckoning the energy. You're waiting for whatever it is to materialize. You're waiting for the project to come to completion. You're waiting for the work that you've put in to come to fruition. You've been diligently sprinkling your magic in situations and doing the work and being on the path, right? But I have a feeling it's like other people have distracted you a little bit, and those situations are being pulled away from you right now, and you're realizing like how solid structures are, right? How solid are the structures that you have in your life now, and what did you build, and how solid is that? And I think it's coming to like a moment of, reckoning with that. And I see the intervention here. So I do feel like Odin has intervened. It's like he's like, a cosmic father who like disapproves of your boyfriend or girlfriend if you're a male watching this. It's like, this is the cosmic father who's like, I don't approve. And, you need to go back to the Syrian gate and stand in prayerfulness and devotion, find some serenity again, and transcend these situations where you think that you're going to get the big payoff and things are just going to happen, but things get stagnant. And Odin doesn't want you to be stagnant anymore. Sacred living is what you need to do, pile number 3. That's really where it's at for you. So, thank you, pile number 3. Those are your messages. Okay, so moving on to pile number 4. So if you picked pile number 4, you picked the emerald. Here, this big chunk of raw emerald. All right, so what Ascended Master is working with you right now and why? Let's check it out. Serapis Bey. I love this one. This is great. Serapis Bey was an Ascended Master who lived in Egypt long ago. And that's why you see the headdress and everything here. It says, move into your true self. Rise above the darkness. The light is here. Okay, so Serapis Bey is helping with the ascension process. There's some really good Serapis Bey videos on YouTube where people are channeling Serapis Bey. So if for those of you that are interested in that and ascension energies and all of that, you may want to check that out. Ooh, I love it. The Orion Stargate. So Serapis Bey is working with you at the Orion Stargate to help with power, authority, influence, and ambition. And if you look at him, he is very serious, and he is very much in his power. He's a very well-respected person, it looks like here. And he's standing with you at the Orion Stargate to help you walk through so that you can know your power, authority, and ambition. And that evidently is part of your ascension process. Pile number 4 is to know your sovereignty, know your own authority. And the Orion Stargate will help with that. So let me read card 53 for you. Okay. The Orions from the Analam system in the belt of Orion are an ancient race governing with immense power and influence, profound in their mental and metaphysical understandings, strongly ambitious, yet often mysterious and aloof. They think and feel deeply, striving for greatness and self-mastery, pushing the boundaries of their empires through both consciousness and technology, creating commanding dominions, compelling one into greater personal power and roles of authority and leadership. It's time to move more fully into your power in order to be of greater service, to exert a wider influence, to shift and assist humanity in beneficial ways, right? So, somebody is not messing around anymore. Pile number 4, you are supposed to be stepping it on up and working with your ascension energies. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah. Pile number 4, you've got Judgment and the Empress. So yeah, this Empress is not messing around either. Look at her face. She's like, you better, if you come at me in a way that isn't correct at all, I will throw this seashell at you. This is the mermaid deck I'm looking at here. And then you also have the Judgment card, which is like, ollie ollie oxen free, time to wake up. So, with Judgment, we go through the fire, we go through the portal of, chaotic fire. Judgment is not always the easiest energy to work with. It's like the moment that you realize, holy shit, I'm in the Matrix. So you've had to go through that recently, a big moment of a huge awakening and huge setting free of yourself and who you want to be in the world. And now you've got an attitude. Now you've got a bit of an attitude, and that's good because you're supposed to be in your power and authority, influence, and ambition. So Serapis Bey is literally the ascension energy with Judgment is literally rising out of your grave. And ascending, right? So come out of your graves, Gabriel blowing his trumpet. It's time to wake up. It's time to rise up and then have some attitude about it with this sassy Empress here. Ooh, and it looks like, what might have been holding you back in the past or what it was really clouding you and fogging you up were basically like old feelings of guilt. And I find with guilt too, it's like suppressed anger, right? So there might be part of you that's pissed as well. You know, you're like, not ever again. It's not happening. You will never do this to me again. And somebody might have been kind of operating or getting at you through guilt, trying to use guilt to manipulate you or something. Pile number 4, Serapis Bay is not having it. Neither are you with your Empress energy. You are not having it either. So you're going to move on from that. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. Okay. Inner authority. We also have authority at the Orion gate as well. And I feel for you. I just got chills, pile number 4. Whenever I get chills, it's like, this is really true. I feel that you're an Orion starseed and that is your destiny, like your path. For those of you in pile number 4, read up about Orion starseeds and see if that isn't you or something that you need to push towards in this lifetime. Check your inner knowing. Turn your gaze within. You know, don't just take what I say at face value, but listen to some things and see if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't set you on a path. Because all paths lead home. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else tries to do or tries to put on you. It's your destiny. So nobody can F with that. Pile number 4, resurrection, comeback, birth, and renewal. You, pile number 4, are the comeback kids, and nobody should underestimate you. You got the resurrection card along with the judgment card. You are literally coming back from dead. And you might have just been numb, or you might have felt turned off for a while, or like you were in a trance state, or somebody was really using negative energies, not just maybe someone, but multiple people to try to control you. You have cast these people out. You have pushed them off of you and their energies away from you, and you're not putting up with it anymore. This is all a part of your ascension process. Pile number 4, you are in a massive ascension right now. And I almost feel this more strongly than the other piles. Like, the other piles were great, but this is very, very clear energy to me. So pile number 4, please remain in your authority, remain in your truth, read, learn, level yourself up, because you're going places, baby. All right. That's what I have for you, pile number 4. I hope you all enjoyed your reading, and I will see you next time. Thank you.